Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Shall we begin this Sunday morning by standing as we're able and singing together? Please join us.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome here to First Unitarian Church. We are a multi-generational community that strives to nurture the individual as well as building together the beloved community. Welcome all gathered here. Welcome all joining us online this morning. And a special welcome to folks who are new to our community, whether you're here in person or online. I want to begin by introducing our guest preacher this morning. The Reverend Stephani Skalak is a hospital chaplain working in the Providence Health System. Stephani was the intern minister at the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Willamette Falls in Oregon City for 2 years. She has a Master of Divinity degree from Meadville Lombard Theological School and a BA in International Relations from the American University. Stephani lives in Portland with her love, Mark, and their 2 young adult children who are with us today, Ukiah and Seneca. We look forward to seeing more of you, Stephani. Welcome. Following the service, join fellow congregants for social hour in Fuller Hall, immediately below this sanctuary. There's an art wall display. You can check out the first share table where congregants are invited to share their garden bounty from their gardens. There will be a welcome circle. If you are new among us, we'd love to welcome you to a welcome circle here to my left. We'd love to hear what brings you to the church and what questions you might have about First Unitarian. Join Jen Thomas, our membership coordinator, and other folks from our welcome team, and join them. And today, during social hour, there will be a Democracy in Action corner hosted, and they will be hosting a postcard writing party. Everyone is welcome to stop by and to write pro-democracy messages to our representatives, grounded in our UU values of justice, equity, and compassion. All materials will be supplied, although I'm told that if you want to bring a favorite pen, you should do that. So join our Democracy in Action corner today. Once again, welcome everyone to First Unitarian Church. Now as we gather, let's take a moment and greet one another here in person and online. I'll invite Reverend Stephani to come forward and light our chalice this morning. We are Unitarian Universalists. We light this chalice in faith, in hope, and in love.
Good morning. It's good to be together. I'm at the bottom of my script. All right, here we go. Someday, all of us will rise together. We will reach the mountain peak. We will meet big and strong and free, ready to receive, to partake, to bask in the golden rays of love. What fancy, what imagination, what poetic genius can foresee the potentialities of such a force in the life of us all together? Come, let us worship together.
Our first anthem this morning, I'm going to invite you all, if you would like, to join us at a certain part. This is a piece by Abby Bettinas called Love is Love is Love is Love is Love. There's some hidden meanings in there I think you might be able to pick up on as we sing this. So the choir will present this once through, and then we'll sing it in various parts at the same time. But at a certain point, I would like to invite you all to sing what is known as the mantra with us. The text of that is love, love, love. All we need is love, love, love. All we need is love. And it sounds something like this. Take a listen. Love, love, love. All we need is love, love, love. All we need is love, love, love. All we need is love, love. Try this if you can. All we need is love, love, love. All we need is love, love, love. One more time. All we need is love, love, love. All we need is love, love, love. All we need is love. Yes. So at a certain point, I will cue you. It might look like this. And then when you see this signal, this means we are finished, and that will be the last time through. We hope you enjoy. Please be here with us.
Love is
Let us join now in a responsive reading. Words of Audrey Rich. No one ever told us we had to study our lives, make of our lives a study as if learning natural history or music, that we should begin with the simple exercises first and slowly go on to trying the hard ones, practicing till strength and accuracy become one with the daring to leap into transcendence. And in fact, we can't live like that, to take on everything at once before we've even begun to read or mark time. We're forced to begin in the midst of the hardest movement, the one already sounding as we are born. Let's rise now in body and in spirit and sing our doxology, Spirit of Life. On Sundays this summer, we're going to be sharing our offering with Unitarian Universalist organizations that support our larger family of faith. This morning, we're sharing our plate with DRUM, Diverse and Revolutionary UU Multicultural Ministries. DRUM is a people of color ministry and anti-racist collective bringing lay and religious professionals together to overcome racism through resistance and transform Unitarian Universalism through our multicultural experiences. If you'd like to give, in a moment, our ushers will come through with baskets. You can have cash or checks, and if you'd like to give electronically, you'll find a QR code on the screen shortly or in the yellow slip in front of you if you're here in person. And we welcome your gifts to support our DRUM and this congregation. Thank you for your generosity that sustains the ministry of our community here together. We'll now receive our offering. Each week in our service, we hold up concerns of our community life together. A reminder that pastoral care is available in our congregation through our ministers and through our lay ministers. You can offer prayer requests to be held by our leaders. You can send intentions to prayer@firstunitarianportland.org. And during the service, you can light a candle of intention in one of our side galleries. We hold staff member Dana Buell this morning. Dana's father, Lance Buell, died early this morning, July the 6th, in Rockville, Maryland. Lance was 85 years old. Dana, her brother Kent, and stepmother Alice were by his side. Dana says Lance lived a purposeful life dedicated to fairness, justice, and a deep belief in people's capacity to learn and to grow. He lived with Alzheimer's for the last decade of his life, and even until the end, Dana says he was kind and funny and dedicated to his family. Take good care, Dana, in these days to come. Will you join me now in prayer? Spirit of life and of love, God of many names and no name at all, hear our prayers this day. Be with us and with all the concerns we bring, prayers for our lives, prayers for our children's lives, prayers for this good green earth and for all the life it makes possible, prayers for those whose lives are threatened by natural disaster. And this morning, on this 4th of July weekend, we hold our country on its birthday. We hold our country at this particular time of peril. We pray for our democracy as it faces threats of so many kinds. The threat of what feels like growing authoritarianism, this time of growing divisions among us, these times that threatened some of the most vulnerable among us, immigrants, poor people, trans children, and trans adults. Help us to be good citizens, Spirit. On this 4th of July, may we celebrate diversity and not be threatened by it. May we work toward a time when all your children have a place at the welcome table, when all your children are free to be who they are and to live with a sense of safety. May the ideals upon which our country was founded be our guide and our promise in these times. Be with us and with all the prayers we bring, Spirit. Amen. Let's take a few moments now and be together in silence. Please remain seated as we sing together our next hymn, All Our Architects.
All
From this hour, I ordain myself, loosed of limits and imaginary lines, going where I list, my own master, total and absolute, listening to others, considering well what they say, pausing, searching, receiving, contemplating, gently, but with undeniable will, divesting myself of the holds that would hold me. I inhale great draughts of space. The east and the west are mine. The north and the south are mine. I am larger, better than I thought. I did not know I held so much goodness. All seems beautiful to me. I can repeat over to friends and strangers alike, "You have done such good to me. I would do the same to you. I will recruit for myself and you as I go. I will scatter myself among all persons, all beings as I go. I will toss a new gladness and roughness among them. Whoever denies me, it shall not trouble me. Whoever accepts me, they shall be blessed and shall bless me." I believe that language matters, that representation matters. When I was in college in the 1990s, I had a boilerplate disclaimer that I attached to every essay, where I explained that I had intentionally used they, them, instead of the so-called generic he, or the awkwardly wordy he or she, his and her. Sometimes professors still marked me down for it. They said it was not grammatically correct, to which I responded that the generic he was not spiritually or morally correct, and that of the two, I would rather let the grammar slide. Later, it felt natural to bring these convictions to my mothering as well. Mark and I didn't want our children to feel that their gender limited their choices of what they wanted to do or to be. When my children were little, I was always changing the gender in picture books that we read together. It's astonishing how many children's stories, even those written today, will have a whole cast of only male characters who will be assigned traditional gender norms depending upon how caring they are, or how brave they are, or how important they are to the story. I would actually write in the book, I know my grandmother would be horrified, putting a slash through he and him and writing in she and her, or vice versa. So that once my kids started reading on their own, they could see that I had made that change and we could have a conversation about why. As parents, we also made a habit of saying things like, well, when you're older, if you fall in love with someone, he or she will, or she or he might. We fed them on our dreams. Our dream that love is love, that biology doesn't have to be destiny. And we never wanted them to have a moment's hesitation, wondering if we would accept their whole selves, whoever they may discover themselves to be. A while back, my youngest child told me that they don't want to be labeled a boy or a girl. And while it was not a new concept for me, I know a lot of non-binary people. I live in Portland, Oregon, and I went to a UU seminary. Still, it certainly wasn't what I had imagined when I was busy ensuring equal representation of male and female characters in their board books. When I assured them that they could fall in love with a man or a woman. And it was an adjustment. I did not get their pronouns right as consistently as I would have liked. Frankly, I still slip up. And there were so many gendered words to unlearn, remembering to say child or kid instead of son or daughter, to say sibling instead of sister or brother. Suddenly, I was writing goofy foot, tripping over myself, trying to get it right. And it was uncomfortable. It was awkward. But my sweet child graciously assured me that it is normal to have a learning curve. It's okay, Mom, they said. From what I read, it takes at least 6 months to get used to new pronouns. You're right on track. They also gave me permission to talk about this with you all today, by the way. I grew up singing I Am Woman by Helen Reddy. As a teenager, I had a subscription to Ms. magazine instead of 17 or Teen Vogue. My non-binary child is named Seneca after the 1848 Women's Rights Convention that kicked off the suffrage movement in the United States. My kid practically memorized both volumes of Bedtime Stories for Rebel Girls, which we read together every night for months on end. I have fed them on my dreams. My child also has dreams. In a 2019 New York Times article, a non-binary therapist named Tate asked, what if our most fundamental means of perceiving and classifying one another is illusory, and can be swept away. Speaking of masculinity and femininity, they went on to say, we all police one another's gender conformity. If the policing didn't exist, what would things be like for you? Mel, a high school student in Great Neck, New Jersey, writing in their school newspaper, says, gender feels like a constricting box where I'm expected to act a certain way. For me personally, being non-binary feels like I've escaped this box. A young person that I know here in the Portland area said that they identified as non-binary because they dream of a world where no one was discriminated against for being female or male or for being queer, because no one thought of anyone through the prism of gender in the first place. I don't want to be a girl wearing boys' clothes, nor do I want to be a girl who presents as a boy, said non-binary teenager Kelsey Beckham in an interview in the Washington Post. I'm just a person wearing people clothes. Dr. Robin Dembroff, a philosophy professor at Yale University, writes that non-binary identity challenges our constant and unthinking habit of using binary gender categories as a lens through which to view and evaluate nearly everything about a person: their relationships, their occupation, their clothes, height, athletic ability, intelligence, personality, and on and on and on. Dembroff goes to some lengths to point out also that non-binary identity is not about being androgynous. In fact, the very idea of androgyny is based upon binary gender norms. If we think that someone is only successfully non-binary when we can't tell if they were assigned male or female at birth, then we are still trying to measure them by how well they do or don't conform to traditional gender norms. It misses the whole point. So, instead of constantly testing the boundary of what femininity allows and what masculinity forbids, the non-binary movement is attempting to inhabit a third place. They're Gendernauts, stepping outside of the binary world to boldly go where no one has gone before. It's a beautiful dream, and it is a variation on a melody that is familiar to most of us. If you pick a dream, any dream that has changed the world, it was dismissed at first. When some women began to speak up saying that they wanted the right to vote, or to manage their own property, or to work in a traditionally male profession, most people thought that was ridiculous. They said those were pipe dreams. They said it would be too complicated. I mean, what would we even call a woman who was a doctor, or even worse, a minister? A doctoress, a lady doctor, a pastoress, as if the language itself were reason enough not to try. When the movement for gay marriage first started, that was largely dismissed out of hand too. People wanted to know which one will be the wife, which one is the groom. Many people today are still unable to imagine a partnership beyond that binary lens. If I am honest with myself, when I think about how frustrated I was trying to get those pronouns right, putting my foot in my mouth over and over, it was not just that I wanted to be sure that I didn't hurt them. And of course, I want to be sensitive and supportive, to do no harm. But there was also a perfectionist impulse, right? A little ego involved, right? I liked being the wise mother, the virtuous teacher, the brave one pushing against the status quo. It was difficult to suddenly feel that I was the one with the learning curve. Maybe navigating today's fluid gender expressions is something that you have embraced without difficulty. For many people in this room, it may have felt like coming home. But chances are there is some other area of change, a growing edge where you don't feel as sure-footed, no matter how wise and experienced and brave you have been before. I am sure that there is someone you love, someone in your circle, someone you even admire, who is also struggling to adjust to one social justice issue or another. Our gray hymnal, Singing the Living Tradition, was published in 1993 when I was in college. And one of the major changes was getting rid of that so-called generic he. It was a big step toward social justice to have all those hymns say men and women instead of just men, to say humanity or humankind instead of mankind. But the truth is that for many people, those changes felt uncomfortable. They felt awkward. And a lot of folks felt like they kept putting their foot in their mouth, and some of them, including some women, initially longed for the comfort, the familiarity of the way they had always sung those hymns before. Today, every week, all across the country, UU music directors and UU ministers are updating those same hymns and readings on the fly, putting a slash through men and women and scribbling in non-gendered alternative lyrics in the margins, all while trying to create a decent rhyme and get the meter right. Thank you, Garrett. They are also trying to update ableist lyrics and noticing colonial appropriation that needs to be addressed, etc. Our opening words this morning were from the Gray Hymnal, number 559 by Emma Goldman, activist and anarchist Emma Goldman. The original reads, "Someday men and women will rise." I changed it to "Someday all of us will rise," to use it for this service. But I felt conflicted about it. The passage is from the closing paragraph of Goldman's 1910 essay, Marriage and Love, which is a treatise on the oppression of women. Specifically, she talks about how the oppression of women, as it stood in 1910, compromises genuine love within marriage. Her point was that genuine love, true love between two people, is impossible if one holds power over the other, if one is not truly free. Now, this quote is out of context in our hymnal, making it really easy to casually degender it. But degendering it makes it almost unrecognizable from Goldman's original work. It amounts to a colonization or an appropriation of her words. And make no mistake, the issues she is bringing up in that 1910 essay are definitely relevant in this current moment. The women here in the room and in the virtual room know from long experience how it feels to have our histories erased, to have our prophets watered down. And yet, justice and inclusivity today mean ensuring that we don't reinforce a gender binary. Friends, sometimes the way forward is convoluted and the path is full of stumbling blocks. That is why it's important to try to find the way together. With a community of seekers that have a wide variety of skills and perspectives and experiences, we need to have each other's backs. That community should include leaders who are young people with new dreams. It should include marginalized people who are traditionally unrepresented here. It should include elders who know our history. For many of us, forging this path together means realizing that we have, however inadvertently, caused harm, or that we've been ignorant of issues and perspectives outside of our experience or our comfort zones. That realization can feel embarrassing and overwhelming. It can feel vulnerable. Those feelings of uncertainty can cause human people to get defensive, even angry, to be afraid of being wrong. It's maybe even especially hard if you've always thought of yourself as the one leading the charge for justice, and now you feel that maybe you're struggling a bit to keep up, and I know that sometimes I feel that I'm struggling a bit to keep up. So maybe you have this dream of the future that you've been working toward, a dream that's been nourishing you, a dream that you have fed your children and your community on, and now it feels like you're a little lost. And meanwhile, everyone else just forged a new path in a direction you hadn't even imagined. In fact, that area is off your map entirely, and who elected them leader anyway? Which really brings us back to the heart of the matter. Who gets to be a leader? Whose voices are heard? Whose dreams matter? Who feels that they belong here, that they have the right to speak up and lead? All these vulnerable feelings call for faith. Faith that if we are holding space for change together, if we are all holding space for each other in right relationship together, that we can build a new way together. May it be so. Please rise in body and or spirit to sing our closing hymn, Building a New Way. And now in our going, may we feel rooted in touch with the values of our spiritual ancestors that have helped us to plant. May we spread our wings, aiming for a dream beyond today's obstacles, for that mountain peak, the beloved community, where we will all meet big and strong and free. May the light of love bless us and keep us. May it shine down upon us and radiate out from within us. May it be gracious unto us and grant us peace, for this is the day we are given. Let us rejoice in it and be glad. Go in peace, practice love. Amen.
Thank you.